Well, after an absolutely abysmal start to our January, we managed to turn things around with a couple of victories towards the end and continue that momentum moving through February. We're now in March. I think we're clear of the relegation zone. We're 11th in the Premier League with 9 games left to play. It's going to be an exciting finish to this season. We've had some transfers in, some transfers out, so let's see what the rest of the season holds for us here at Taskmaster United. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 64 of my Taskmaster FC save. So happy to bring you back. When you last saw me, we had a very disappointing 1-0 loss to Nottingham Forest and then an absolutely destroyed at Arsenal in the second round of the Carabao Cup semifinal. And I was pretty dejected after that game, but it got worse as we lost 3-0 to Manchester City. We drew against Leicester City and then lost to Tottenham. And I'll be honest, I thought at that point I might be out of a job. Above everything, the locker room morale was just low, and the players let me know that. And I know that that tends to lead to not good things when it comes to the play on the pitch, as well as what might happen from senior leadership off of the pitch. So we did manage to turn things around. We got a 1-0 win against Brighton Hove Albion, which is absolutely superb. Again, another win against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and a 5-3 thrashing of Brentford before we ended up losing to Manchester United, a win against Fulham, and then a tough 4-3 loss to Tottenham Hotspur, where we did have an opportunity to win the game. Unfortunately, we ended up with an own goal very, very late in the match that ended up sealing our loss. So I was hoping for a draw, but, you know, we did the best that we could. We got 2 games today against Everton and Burnley, 2 games that we can probably get some points from. So fingers crossed today we can make that happen. In terms of transfers, if I go here and take a look, that's not the button I want. I want this button here, transfer history. We've brought in quite a few players here towards the end of the transfer window, even the beginning of the transfer window, we brought in some players. Now, I will not give these name in the game until they actually appear for us. So we've got quite a few players here that are youngster players that we'll try to get them developed and hopefully get them in the team. But we have Concetta Caristo from Taskmaster Australia. This individual here is a 3.5-star current ability center back, 23 years old, 4 caps for the Swedish national team. Tall, good jumping reach. I mean, just an overall good center back. Been a good addition to this team. So went straight into center back. Wanted a star role, £43,000 per week. So we went ahead and gave that to Concetta. We had a few players end up leaving here. So we have those players that we actually brought in. We ended up sending out on loan. Sally Phillips ended up leaving us for Rangers. Yes, those Rangers. Rangers B for £8,000, and then Laura Daniel left for Swansea City for free. So, some of the players that we've been trying to kind of pawn off, those players that aren't quite good enough for the Premier League, we've been trying to kind of get rid of those, and again, bring in some players on top. So, that being said, that's kind of what we've gone through and done. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the squad ready and prepared. Oh, by the way, Sophie Willen, still top goal scorer in the Premier League. I mean, by a mile. 19 goals compared to just 12. A little bit surprising seeing how low the highest goal scorers are in the Premier League. We've played nearly 30 games, so the players they're top of the league here are scoring a goal every 3 games. So not sure what's going on with Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland's still at Manchester City, but just not quite scoring. But apparently they don't need him to score because they are well ahead of everyone else in the league. We are 11th, 38 points, should be enough for survival. Hopefully we don't end up with second-year syndrome here, but very, very good. We're 18 points ahead of relegation. I think we're going to be able to steer clear of that this season. So that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause you. I'm going to bring you back for our game against Everton. So give me just a moment and we will do just that. This is going to be the starting lineup against Everton, a very, very familiar squad. In all honesty, I could not think of where we would even be without Sophie Willen. 25 goals in conglomerate on the season. I mean, nobody's even close to that. I think you add up all the other goals and you still don't get 25. So Sophie Willen, our savior for the season. We'll still try to get Sophie Willen if we can. Probably will be quite pricey, considering it's probably going to be the top goal scorer in the Premier League this season. But regardless, we've got Bubba in goal. Defensively, Hugh Dennis, Mel Bracewell, Jamali Maddox, and Alice Levine, Bob Mortimer, and Kyle Smith-Bino anchoring our midfield. Out wide, we have Jack D and Morgana Robinson, Guz Khan, our attacking midfielder, and Sophie Willen up top. Let's get this team going, and let's see if we can pull off another victory today. One more victory, we reach that sweet, sweet 40 points and guarantee our survival. So let's make that count today. Trust everybody to make a difference. All smiles all around. Let's get to the tunnel. It's going to be a tough match. We're not going to make excuses, and we're going to build on this. So let's see if we can get a victory today. And again, these are the teams we need to be beating. We've had some good luck against some tougher opponents, but these teams that are down near us or below us, so this is kind of the run of form, or run of games, rather, where we need to really make sure that we can get some points here. I'd like to see if we can get close to 50 points this season. That would be a tremendous victory, considering where we were in the season preview and where I thought we might end up being at the beginning of the season. A lot of these players have developed quite well over the course of the season, so kind of pleased to see how things have turned out, and hopefully we bring in some players next season. Again, fingers crossed we don't get relegated, but I think we're in pretty safe hands at this point in time, but I certainly don't want to count chickens before they hatch by any stretch of the imagination. So Everton now with a couple of offensive highlights here to start off the game. Not exactly what you want to see. Good save there by Bubba. And again, just lots of offensive highlights there for Everton. We really want to make sure we're turning the tide here. Looks like we might get one here. Alice Levine with the throw into Guz Khan. Immediately turns the ball over. And Everton now look to counter. Not exactly sure what we need to do to prevent this from going down here. Hugh Dennis with the good interception. Jamali Maddox looks to move the ball upfield, but moves it over to Mel Bracewell to Hugh Dennis. Got plenty of room up here to move the ball up the field. So a little bit of an underlap here. Jack D back to Hugh Dennis. Gets pressure to move the ball back to Bob Mortimer, who moves the ball to Mel Bracewell. Over across to Jamali Maddox, looking to move the ball forward here. Immediately intercepted in a poor pass. Everton ends up intercepting. They move the ball right down the field into the back of the net. And just as I mentioned, a good run of form. It's poor passing from our defensive core here that prevents us from getting anything done with the ball. And we've been clearly outplayed so far. Sophie Willen has pulled her groin, so that's absolutely fantastic. Exactly what you see from your star player this early in the game. Jack D now with the ball. Bob Mortimer into the box. Kyle Smith-Bino with the ball. Fires it just wide. Really good opportunity there. Unfortunately, Kyle Smith-Bino cannot connect, and it ends up being a goal kick. Everton now with the corner. And as we mentioned previously in previous seasons, those corners have been quite dangerous for us. Unfortunately, not offensively this season and past seasons. It's like Sophie Willen still wants to come off. Really don't want to take Sophie Willen off because it really hinders our offensive opportunities. But Everton have been doing a very good job so far today, preventing us from really doing much of anything. Goal here, I think we do take her off. Yeah, that's absolutely poor. So we're going to go ahead and get Sophie Willen off. We'll make a couple other substitutions as well because nobody seems to want to play today. So we're going to get off Jamali Maddox and Mel Bracewell because they do not want to play soccer today. And Hugh Dennis. We'll give the team talk and say, you know what? You guys can make a difference today because our defense cannot at this point in time. A very, very frustrating 2-0 to Everton so far. Yeah, proceed with the practical changes. Has been terrible. Oh, great. So as soon as I make these changes, we're going to allow another goal. Again, I'm just not sure why the passing has just not been up to par today. Nobody's really doing much of anything. Morgana Robinson, probably the only thing that's been going on here in the box. Munya Chihuahua scores and looks to be good, not offside. 2-1. Good job to get a goal back. Puts us right back into contention, which is what I like to hear. Fantastic goal for Munya Chihuahua right off the bench, making his mark and putting the ball into the back of the net. That is a 2-1 margin at this point in time. We're going to go ahead into the dressing room. They have been terrible so far. So sort it out. Let's get it together, and let's see if we can make a difference here in the second half. Still down 2-1. Everton with far more opportunities. The XG is much higher. The pass completion is much higher. The possession's much higher. We just have not done much of anything today at all other than the one opportunity we've had in front of goal. Unfortunately, we've been clinical today and have put that into the back of the net. Opportunity here for Everton on the highlight as they work the ball around. It looks like just defensively we just aren't up to the task today. And again, just make too easy. Absolutely way too easy defensively. And Everton just tearing us apart. Nobody's pressuring the ball. Nobody's taking that step forward. They're just getting it back to that central midfielder. I mean, it's the same person who scored the goal 3 times. I guarantee that is not a striker. It's attacking. Oh, I thought it was attacking midfielder. It looked like somebody who's kind of nice and holed up there. But he's done a fantastic job on loan from Manchester City, apparently. And he's been the difference today. So we can get Kyle Smith-Bino off and get Paul Chowdhury on. Munya Chihuahua, that is not the position for Munya Chihuahua. We'll get let's get an advance forward on attack, confirm the changes. I mean, it's just been a very, very poor. See, nobody pressuring, no pressure at all. Just as soon as the ball gets into the box, we're just kind of done. And as you can see, Everton have completely dominated this game. Not a very good showing at all. Not nearly what I have seen from this team at all this season. And again, look how compact everybody is. Nobody working outside. That is an easy goal. Easy goal. And everybody's just too tight. Nobody's working the outside, and they just move the ball over, and it's just an easy tap-in goal. I don't care about VAR. Yes, it was, goal disallowed. That's shocking. Well, I'm going to berate the entire team anyways because that is absolutely poor. Just sad. I don't know. See, again, just a poor pass. You're just not moving the ball to anybody offensively. You're literally passing it to the opposition and not moving the ball to anybody who's even remotely close to the ball. Like, that's a good heavy weighted pass. But again, nobody's there. D to Munya Chihuahua. Finds Paul Senna. Can we get a string of passes going? Because it's always been passed around somebody, but not to somebody. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Can't connect. We're going to end this game down 3-1. A team we should be beating. And all it is that it's that loan. It's this guy right here. On loan. I click on him. On loan from Manchester City. Been there the whole season. Joining permanently. Wow. Good for him. Oh, American, nonetheless. But very poor performance today. Far from pleased. Defensively, I mean, it was bad. Very, very poor defensively. And that's the kind of game I don't like to lose. That's going to hurt as well. Hopefully Sophie Will can come back for the next game. But yeah, very, very poor. I'm going to bring you back for the Burnley game here in just a moment. Hopefully a little bit better luck. Everton are decent, but that is a team that I think we should do better against, for sure. Burnley, hopefully we can get a victory. We'll see you soon. Fingers crossed for a better performance today against Burnley. We did make a couple of changes here. We've got Bubba in goal, Hugh Dennis, Concetta Caristo, I got to get used to saying that. Jamali Maddox and Babatunde Aleshe are our defensive four. Kelsey Bino and Paul Chowdhury in the midfield. Jack D, Bob Mortimer, and Asim Chowdhury round up the attacking midfield. And Sophie Willen up top. Let's hope for a better performance today. Support this team. Get out there and do something. You know I don't like to lose. Expect nothing but a win here. Trust you to make a difference. Trust you to make a difference. And trust you to make a difference. Be inspired, right? Let's do something and win something today. We are away at Burnley. Burnley just ahead of the relegation zone, so hopefully can take advantage of their poor performance so far this season. I believe we beat them earlier in the year. I'd have to go back and take a look, but fingers crossed for a much better performance today than what we had originally. Asim Chowdhury looks like he's already picked up a knock. Wants to come off. Don't really see him anywhere. Looks to be fine, really. So, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. We're going to watch this highlight, though. Bob Mortimer, though. Good job getting the ball. Sophie Willen immediately turned the ball over. But Babatunde Aleshe, Bob Mortimer, Sophie Willen. Get in there. Oh, good opportunity. Just cannot execute. Burnley now on the counter. If they score from this, I'm not going to be pleased. Oh, thank God, Bubba. Not the best save in the world, but good enough to prevent an opportunity for Burnley. See if we can get another opportunity here. Burnley just kind of chucks the ball forward here. Oh, my goodness. Good save. I mean, again, just a poor mistake. That very easily could have been tucked into the back of the net. It's just frustrating when I know we can play so much better, and I've seen us play so much better, and yet we come into this game, and, I mean, again, look at the stats at the moment. It's just pitiful. Yeah, let's get some crosses in. That was the most uneventful first half I've seen all season. Very, very disappointed. All right, let's see if we make some changes here. Asim Chowdhury said he was injured. We'll make that change. Morgana Robinson. And again, I just don't see a whole lot of change here. Just being beat. Still 0-0, thankfully, but again, just not a whole lot happening here. Burnley with really the only opportunities of the first half here. So let's see if we can get something going on here. Morgana Robinson. And then we just need to work better finding passes. Jamali Maddox. Okay, back to the goalkeeper. That's not the best option, but it is what it is. We keep possession. Caristo to Dennis. Dennis moves the ball to the field. Jack D. But again, we can't move the ball through the midfield. Kyle Smith Bino, Jamali Maddox. We can't find anybody. Paul Chowdhury turns. Morgana Robinson. Again, it's back and forth. Nobody's moving the ball forward. Nobody's making any runs going towards the offensive part of the field, and that's why we just have to keep playing the ball back. We get the ball up to this point, and then we just get stuck and can't find anybody. Willing to D just wide. I wonder if Jack D could maybe do a little bit better there to at least get the shot on target. But it really seems to be getting that penetration from our midfield to the final third that seems to be the most difficult part of our game so far, at least the most challenging part of today. Just can't seem to get really anything going on there. Ball's thrown into the box, cleared out, but Burnley still with an opportunity, and I mean it's just a tap in. Nobody even marked him. An easy tap in for Burnley. 1-0. I mean, what do you do? It's just terrible soccer. It's just frustrating. So irritated. Irritated by the fact this is a game we should win. We shouldn't be losing to this team. This team is awful, and they've completely run us over. Munya Chihuahua with the corner now. Can we at least get something back here? And the answer is no, we can't. Pemberton now gets the ball back to Hugh Dennis, but again, nobody's wide. Everybody's just tucked under center. Has there been a change to our formation I'm just not aware of, where everybody just is as close as they could possibly be? Like, are we not getting wide anymore? Attacking with wide. Why is everybody scrunched up? Transition, fine. But I mean, I've made no changes to anything. The only thing that's changed is just our ability to play soccer. And I don't know if we've just kind of gotten comfortable with where we are. Just said, you know what, 38 points is probably enough. I don't know if the game thinks about that. But this is unacceptable. And I'm going to let them know. I mean, everything's just bad. I don't like going into the end of the season with this type of run of form. But let's be real here. This is just bad. It's just bad. I think we're going to need to make a change again. I don't know what that change is, but it needs to be soon. Burnley did not deserve that win. And I'm going to let the press know that. Focus on what we can do. Didn't deliver as planned. I mean, it just bad. Can't tell if you enjoyed that, because if you did, you're weird. But if you did, like, subscribe. There's more coming. Hopefully more success rather than failure. I think the next episode I'm going to show you is the last episode of the season. We're going to bring the last two games and just see what happens. Hopefully we turn this form around. But like I said, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. We'll see you really soon. Bye, everybody.